Good morning. All right, today we're going to talk about metric conversions. This is really goes in line with everything we've talked about in this unit already. So you're already a little bit familiar with how the metric system works, and will have you watch one quick video probably before you do this. So hopefully you're familiar. If you haven't watched that yet, you can ask me about that and I can give that to you as well. But the metric system is just a way for us to write, or is just a system of measurement that is built on powers of 10. So instead of having like a conversion like in the English system where 1 foot is equal to 12 inches, all of the conversions in the metric system are just powers of 10. So it's there's 100 centimeters in every 1 meter. There's 1,000 millimeters in every 1 meter. So it's all based on tens. So, as a review, what we're gonna dive into is not only the metric system, but how to convert between numbers in the metric system. And so, what we need to establish first is conversion factors for the metric system. And so, as a reminder, these are just equal and they're one-to-one ratios of two different units. So, the one example we used before was there's 12 inches in 1 foot. There's 100 centimeters in every 1 meter. So, the first thing we're gonna do in this unit is kind of talk about prefixes. And these are used in order to make measurements of different sizes easier to understand and to compare. So in the metric system, there is um, a base unit. So if you are talking about um, if you're talking about meters, you're going to have a base unit, and that would be meters, right? And then we use these prefixes like deca or hecto or kilo, right? A kilometer would be a type of meter, or a centimeter, a millimeter, right? All of those measure length, but the prefix goes before the actual base, and it tells you to what extent that number is modified. Okay, so our base units include meters, liters, grams, seconds, calories, bytes, and there's a couple other ones as well. So we're going to kind of talk about what do these prefixes tell us? How do we use them? And then how do we write them? So today, we're going to kind of learn how to write the metric conversion factor. So the first thing I want you to do is you are going to write a 1 in front of the metric unit with a prefix. So whenever you're establishing and writing the conversion factor, just like we did yesterday or earlier this week in dimensional analysis, the 1 always goes in front of the 1 with the prefix. Okay, so the numbers we're about to talk about, those always go in front of the number of base units. So let's go back to the worksheet that you're looking at right now. Um, so you're going to build conversion factors for this. Okay, so right here you have giga, right? And then you have um, the symbol for that is G. So it would be big G, little m. And then the number of base units is 1 times 10 to the ninth. Okay, so if I were to write this, it would be 1 gigameter is equal to 10, and then I would just take this right here. I'm going to copy and paste this. Copy, and you guys are going to do this on paper, so it'll be a lot easier. And then you do 10 to the ninth meters. Okay, so um, you're going to just write that, right? So the 1 always goes in front of the 1 with the prefix, and then the number right here goes in front of the 1 with that's the base. Okay. The next thing you're going to do is you're just going to practice converting from scientific notation to standard notation. So here you're going to write what the equivalent of that is. Um, 10 to the ninth, right? So that'll be 1. And then you'll move your decimal place over 9 times. Okay. Let's talk about this. Okay. So a decimeter. Um, so a decimeter is a way that basically these ones up here are ways to describe really, really big numbers. And these ones down here we use to describe really, really small numbers in reasonable terms. Sorry about that. So a decimeter is going to be, right? We do 1 decimeter is equal to 1 times 10, whoa, to the negative 1. I can't do that up there, but to the negative 1, and that would be meters. Okay, and that would be how you write it. So for this, that would be 0.1 meters. Okay, or 0.1 Yeah, meters would be the number you put here. So the first thing I want you to do is come up with your conversion factors. Then these conversion factors are going to be used exactly the same way that you use them in dimensional analysis, that you use 12 centimeter or 12 meter or sorry 12 inches is equal to 1 foot. So you're going to use them, you're going to plug them into your railroad tracks. You'll put whatever's on the top has to go on the bottom, and then you'll multiply across the top and divide by the bottom. But this is just your conversion factor for the metric system. So we're going to stop there for today. If you have questions on that, please ask, but fill out this chart first. And then there is a PowerPoint with some examples on how to do metric conversions with dimensional analysis. So I'll have you look at those examples and you can copy a couple down. And then you can start to work through these examples on the back of your worksheet. If you have questions, like always, please raise your hand. There is a key on the board for you to check your work as you go. Please, as a reminder, use that key with integrity. It is not a form of cheating or trying to get this assignment done faster. It is there for a resource and for you to kind of help guide and get feedback on your learning. All right, have a great day, guys.